Okay, now it's time to get on to the number one on the list from the start of the show. Vampire depiction. Now, this whole story takes a new view on vampires. Now, as it was explained to me to calm me down from an excessive rant I was having one day about this entire series, is that because vampires are made up, anybody can make up whatever they like about them. And that calmed me down a little bit. I'll admit that calmed me down a little bit. But the problem is, vampires have been instilled in our memory and in our society for an awfully long time. Ever since good old Abe wrote his book 115 years ago. I just want to put this out there right now. The original Bram Stoker's novel, he wasn't affected by sunlight. He didn't burn up, he didn't catch fire or anything like that. He just lost his powers. And he was still able to go in the daylight. He just lost his powers. But one thing that he definitely did not do was sparkle. He could freely walk around during the day and not a bother on him. But he didn't sparkle. Ugh. That is the one thing about this whole... It gets me every time. I mean, it's something that people always pick on because, oh wow, that's really gay, he's sparkling in the sunlight. That's not the issue here. The issue here is, he's sparkling. I don't care if it's fucking rhinestones or just he's made of diamonds. I don't care. You're sparkling. I can't accept that. The reason that Dracula lost his powers was so that basically he could walk outside in the daytime, free of any issues and anybody noticing that he was a vampire, so he could go and hunt and track people down and yada yada yada. But if you're walking around and you're fucking sparkling, I'm gonna notice. Now, I just also like to just throw in there just for a second here. I know it's got nothing really to do because it's a fake creature. It doesn't exist. Every different writer will have a different aspect on it, yes. But Dracula, in the original vampire, Vlad Tepes himself, was able to transform into a wolf. Just saying. If Dracula was around during the Twilight movies, he'd walk in and be like, hey, what's going on? Jake, Ed? The fuck you doing? You're like cousins. I should really stop getting really close to the camera. It's kind of weird. Okay, one thing that they did kind of get right in their depiction of vampires in this franchise, I'm gonna call it a franchise, is decapitation being the best way to kill a vampire. But they had to go and fuck that up as well, because apparently vampires are made of stone. Stone that sparkles. Limestone sparkles. Granite sparkles. Diamonds. Like, that's one thing that just really made me upset, I suppose would be the best way of putting it. When watching these films and watching one of them being killed, you twist the head and then they turn to, like, plasterboard. Okay, my second point, Bella is a cock-teasing bitch, comes down to this, okay? Over the entire saga, she is in love with Edward. We all know this. They love each other. He loves her. She loves him. Then this guy comes into the fray and she's all like, ugh, maybe you shouldn't wear a shirt ever again. And then, naturally, she's conflicted because this guy runs away from her because he feels like he's gonna murder her, but she still loves him, even though he wants to murder her. Okay, Bella, let me just... Okay, right. If someone ever comes up to you and physically says to your face, I really want to rip out your throat, I want you to say, I'm gonna go, because it's just not gonna work. Anyway, so this guy leaves and she's left with this guy, who, oddly enough, is the exact same age as her and is a really nice guy. But she still wants the guy who's gonna rip out her throat. Anyway, the two of them hang out and they have a great time together, and she still kind of misses the other guy, but eventually is like, I kind of like this guy. I wonder why. That's just impressive. So basically then he comes back and she tells him to fuck off, and then she goes off with him, and then him and him. This is fun. This is going to be great fun for me in editing. Then him and him hate each other, so that's always nice. And yet she is stuck in the middle of all this because she is a cock-teasing bitch. I gotta stop talking about this subject because it really gets to me all the time. Every time that I even think about these movies, I always just think to myself, fucking Bella's a bitch. Oh, you know, I really love you and everything, but this guy wants to rip out my throat, so I think I'm gonna go with him. But that was actually a probably much better job at acting as Bella, because this brings me on to one of my other points. Kristen Stewart. She's pretty, isn't she? Yeah. It's true, she is a very pretty girl. But she's not a girl, she's an actress. But she can't act. At all. Or smile, for that matter. Not a single smile.